RTA is the ticket to owning your Judaism. We aren't just Jewish because we were born Jewish, but we're Jewish because we know who we are. And that's what RTA has given us.
And my kids have joy. They love it. They love their Judaic classes. It's their favorite time of day. It's everybody in the building is family. They're here for you, not just in the classroom. They're here for you, your whole child, your whole life, your whole family. They're involved in every aspect of who you are and what you are, and they care about the whole child, the whole family, the whole community. Everybody's very accepting of who you are and what you are. They just want to, they're people that have your back.
Mm-hmm. RTA affected my children because it created who they became.
Well, for both of my kids, I think they're innately shy people, and this is a place where they can shine.
Well, once you're in the RTA community, whether it's one day or thousands of days, you're a part of the RTA community. It doesn't take but 5 minutes. You walk in the door and that's forever.
I mean, there's just such love and concern that is so genuine. That RTA has made a difference for us because my kids are comfortable at any synagogue they go to. Whether they go to Beth Ahaba, whether they go to Bethel, if we go to Chabad or we go to KBI, it doesn't matter. They are comfortable being in there.
When I went to school, I was an excellent student. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I never got anything less than an A. But I didn't learn half of what a kid learns here in a year. If they stand out when they go to public school, or they stand out when they go to public universities or private universities, because that way of thinking, only kids who went to day school and their teachers, even in a big university, can pick them out because they engage differently, they think differently, they question, and they know how to answer.
RTA education.
An RTA education is the greatest gift you can give your child. It's priceless. You can't go back and get that ever again. You have one shot, and if you don't take it, you'll regret it forever. Or you might not know you're going to regret it. You might not even know it till you have grandchildren, but you will have missed an opportunity that you had, because here in Richmond, Virginia, this opportunity is for every kid, no matter what affiliation, no matter what their monetary, whether they can afford it or not, it is possible. Because in the Torah, I remember they told me once, because my kids were scholarship kids, and they told me when I felt bad about that in the Torah, it is our obligation, it is every community's obligation to teach children, to give them a Jewish education. So I shouldn't feel bad about the fact that my community is giving my children Jewish education, because that's in the Torah. They're supposed to. Unfortunately, this day and age in America, we have to charge, but that doesn't mean that your children aren't given that. That is an obligation of our community, and you should not feel bad about the fact that you need help to do that, because really we would hope to do it for everyone. And if you don't take advantage of that doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is at home, you can never go back and get that again. And my children, as they got older, they only felt sorry for the kids that didn't get that. And they thanked me so many times, because they'll never get another chance to have an RTA education. And you can do it up to 7th, 8th grade, you can still get it. But once it's passed, you missed. And that's a shame. Leadership. It is so amazing, the leadership skills they get here, because she ran and she was president for 4 years in her public high school and spoke at Siegel Center graduation in front of thousands of people, and it didn't even occur to her that was amazing, because she said, well, I was a leader at RTA. It's who you are inside that matters. And we're all Jewish. That's all there is to it.
My kids would always, without fail, pick the Jewish choice. That is where they feel comfortable. That's where they feel home. As soon as you bring them here and somebody walks in the door and they meet people, then they're like, okay, now I get it.
At every turn, they make the choice that I would want them to make because they were given that young enough and long enough to know what choice they want to live with. You just have to bring your kids here and make that choice to let them know that being Jewish is important to you because it's who you are. It's not what you do, it's just who you are.
When the Israeli scouts have come to town, and they're always amazed when they walk in the building at how the Reform and the Orthodox and the Conservative all integrate, because it doesn't happen like that in Israel, and they are always amazed at what we have here, and they're always amazed at what the kids know, not only Judaically, the Hebrew, all of it, but they're amazed how we integrate.
Richmond's an amazing place for that because RTA does that. It's RTA that makes Richmond that unique, where all of the communities come together.
It's a smaller environment, it's a smaller classes, so they have more attention from the individual teachers. Their teachers know who they are, the principal knows who they are.
Just amazing to me to see how my little kindergartner, who didn't even know her entire alphabet before coming here a few months ago, is now not only starting to read in English, but also knows Hebrew and knows some Hebrew words and is basically learning another language.
Her depth of thinking for a second grader has really grown dramatically. Like, she thinks like a fourth or fifth grader. You know, she's very proud of her learning, which I think is interesting. She likes to learn and she's proud to learn. And I think that doesn't necessarily, you don't see that very often.
We really wanted that small environment, small class sizes, individualized attention that the kids get here, and we got that and so much more, and we're so happy because we made that choice. But they get a lot of love, and they get nurtured, and they are really thriving because of it. It's not just a school where they're learning the curriculum, it's a family that they love and that they're looking forward to seeing every day, and you can't really get that anywhere else.
We saw what RTA was really like and how it truly is, as my wife said, it's like a family of people. It's not, every school has wonderful teachers, every school has great principals and administrators, but not every school has people that literally love their students and consider each student part of their community. That they also bring back the ideas of charity and being a good public citizen and caring for your fellow man. I think our oldest is in second grade and our youngest is in kindergarten. So I think most of the Jewish learning that they're getting right now is about ethics and ethical thinking and ethical conduct, not so much about more advanced Hebrew and things like that, although they are learning Hebrew. And our daughter reads Hebrew, our older daughter reads Hebrew fluently.
They absolutely love being Jewish and they're proud of it, and I think that the school RTA plays a huge role. The way they learn here, they're just excited about learning. They're excited about learning Judaism, they're excited about learning Hebrew. They're very proud of it, and they are developing great critical thinking skills and all kinds of life skills that I don't know where they would have gotten otherwise. I am always confident that my children are being looked after, they're taken care of, that there's always somebody to protect them in any situation. people that they're with during the day here love them and care for them and are there to help them in any situation and make sure that they have what they need. It's just a great community feeling, and it's nice to know that your children are happy and taken care of.
Where every person who's walking down the hall is looking out for your child. They're not the parents, of course, but it's like a multitude of mini parents walking around the halls that are always looking out for your children.
It's amazing how the principal is not just part of administration, but he's part of children's learning. He sees how each individual class is doing. He talks to students and he comments on their progress personally, and it's just amazing and very nice.
If you send your child to RTA, you can be confident that they're learning, and they're learning to enjoy learning. They're learning to enjoy the pursuit of knowledge, which I think in the early years is very important. They're learning to enjoy studying. They don't dislike going to school, and they don't dislike the process of learning. The learning to love to learn is probably the best part so far for us, so for me.
RTA is definitely teaching my children good values. They are teaching of how to be good people, considerate. They see how the older students always care about the younger ones, how everybody is looking out for each other, and how everybody is treated with respect. And they are learning the principles of Judaism, and they are learning just to be very good and sincere human beings.
And I think that they learn this from their older kids in the school, is to look out for other people and to take care of other people. The older students in the school are a tremendous asset for our children, because in addition to the teachers teaching them, in addition to the principals and administrators teaching them, the other students help them learn. But I know for a fact that my daughter has learned from 5th and 6th and 7th graders routinely.
My connection to the RTA community means that I have interaction with lots of different types of Jewish families here. There are families here that I would not have known as well. There are children that my daughter would not have had as much interaction with, and we all learn from each other. It really is a great community. I wasn't sure when we got to kindergarten. We did look at one other school that was a private school. We chose RTA because of the level of community that they have here, the accessibility of the teachers, and the foundation that you learn in a Jewish school, I really thought would make a big difference in the future learning of our kids. I would recommend RTA to prospective families because I think the core values that you learn here at RTA are things that can't be taught in secular schools. RTA is a school that one of my children is in now, and I have 2 more coming next year.
Okay, well, RTA affected me in every way because it gave me the sort of building blocks of the self-confidence to always be myself, because at RTA you could always be yourself.
And I realized as I look back at my RTA education that I really did have a very broad spectrum education, because RTA was so flexible and they catered to what I needed as a student and what I needed as a person, and they got to do that with every kid. And at RTA, the standard is what every child needs, and you'll never find that anywhere else.
Well, you can see each of us are so unique. We're related and we're all so different. And RTA gave us each exactly what we needed.
And at a normal school, if you get it wrong, it doesn't happen. You didn't do it. And here, you did the maximum that you could do. And that's what mattered.
At RTA, it's you found a right answer. It wasn't the right answer to this, but it's a right answer. And how did you get there? Explain to me how you got there. Look at that. You learned something. You learned this.
For kids who are going to go on to a university study, RTA prepares you better than anywhere else. RTA prepared me better than my high school did.
RTA teaches you how to think about the information given to you and be able to come up with your own ideas. And that's something that colleges want. They want you to then look at the information given to you and be able to produce your own ideas and your own opinions about the work. And in any other school setting, they want you to regurgitate the right answer. And here, this is a school that looks at many perspectives, because in the Torah, there's a lot of people's commentary, a lot of people's perspectives on one sentence. So how could there be one right answer if everyone has an opinion on one sentence? And that's how we learn. Everyone's opinion matters.
So much of my time was spent at RTA. I always have had a very strong Jewish identity. I've never questioned it. I've never not wanted it, because I was in a place that made it such a good thing. Because RTA not only gave me the tools to be proud of myself, but to understand myself. You get to learn all about your Jewish identity here, and not in a way that pushes it on you, but that allows you to explore it.
It gave me opportunity to be so much more than just going to Jewish school, but to be Jewish and me at the same time, just so inherently the same.
But when we chose a college, which is a very personal decision, we chose one that would give us the same feeling of home that RTA gave us.